Heartwarming journey. How a hidden pregnancy exposed incredible truths that changed lives forever. In the quaint town of Maplewood, where pie-filled windows wafted the scent of community love and each corner store held memories of laughter, Emily Patterson found herself at the heart of a complex web of expectations. A 26-year-old nurse, she wore scrubs instead of dresses and spent long hours wrapping bandages and offering comforting words at Maplewood General. Her dream of becoming a doctor shimmered ever so faintly behind the heavy curtain of responsibilities. The approaching summer festival painted the town with excitement, festooning streets with banners and blooming flowers. Yet for Emily, this year's festivities danced ominously in the shadows of her burdens. Every neighbor knew the Pattersons, a family defined by resilience, dedication, and a loving mother whose illness now cast a long shadow over Emily's dreams. As the festival drew closer, hopes and pressures tangled like the strings of the balloons floating above the fairgrounds. Emily could feel the weight of her younger siblings' expectations resting on her shoulders, their innocent eyes gazing up at her, hungry for guidance, love, and security. Secretly, under a veil of joy, a different news grew like a storm inside her. Emily was pregnant. The annual festival buzzed all around her, filled with the sounds of laughter, games, and the sweet notes of a country band playing with contagious joy. She watched families reunite, the warmth reminding her of everything she yearned for yet felt was slipping away. In the midst of laughter, she felt the loneliness creep in, a tightness in her chest as she feared both her individual aspirations and the traditions that bound her to her family. What would they think, she wondered, when the whispers of her pregnancy rippled through the townsfolk, those who'd always kept a watchful eye? It was then she met Tom. A former high school football star, he stood awkwardly at a booth, reminiscing too loudly about glory days gone by. Emily found herself drawn to his warm smile and the inexplicable bond that formed between them. Tom carried his own burdens, just as heavy yet cloaked in shame. His conversation came easily, laughter flowing like water, unveiling layers of their lives that felt inexplicably intertwined. Under the fireworks' vibrant colors, they shared dreams and fears, the stakes of judgment feeling momentarily distant. Before they both realized it, amidst their heart-to-heart moment, Emily accidentally let slip her situation. The joyful atmosphere shattered like glass, the world around them pausing to gasp. The festival's cheers faded, replaced by a coarse murmur of judgment. Her worst nightmare engulfed her. Had she just cast aside her family's name, her own aspirations? The weight of their history felt crushing. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As Emily braced for backlash, Tom stood firm beside her, the connection newly forged feeling like life was in turbulent waters. Would the town rally around her, embracing the complexities of her journey, or would it stick to the familiar thread of prejudice? In that moment between heartbeats, with the festival lights illuminating their faces, Emily found the courage to confront the path ahead. It wasn't only her life at stake. It was an opportunity, her chance to challenge the very traditions that felt as suffocating as they were comforting. Would Maplewood recognize the beauty in their truth? Would they be ready to embrace change, love, and hope? As whispers swirled around them, the greatest revelation lay ahead, waiting to be uncovered. The moment hung in the air, heavy with tension and uncertainty. Emily felt Tom's hand squeeze her shoulder gently, as if anchoring her to the ground amidst the storm of whispers. Her heart raced, a wild drum in her chest, urging her to take a stand. She had been so terrified of judgment, but perhaps This was the moment to embrace her truth, even if it meant facing the outside world as scrutiny. "Emily," Tom started, his voice steady, "we can face this together." His sincerity in that moment brought a warmth to her heart. Around them, the colors of the festival seemed to fade as eyes turned, each spectator building their own narrative of what this revelation meant. The crackle of fireworks faded into white noise, overpowered by their hushed conversations, the ripple of gossip beginning to spread. Taking a deep breath, Emily stepped forward. "I know what you all think," she began, her voice a mix of defiance and vulnerability. "But please, let me explain." The crowd quieted, curiosity momentarily overriding judgment. "I'm going to be a mother, yes. But I'm also still me. I'm a nurse, a daughter, a sister, and I want more for my life." The weight of her confession hung in the air like a fragile promise, and Emily could see a flicker of something in the eyes of a few townsfolk. Sympathy. Compassion? It was a glimmer of hope for connection, even among critics. Up front in the crowd, Emily's younger sister, Lily, took a step forward with determination. "Emily isn't alone. She has our family as support, no matter what happens." She glanced at Emily, her eyes shining. "You're not just a label, you're my sister. We love you." As her words landed, a murmur of solidarity rippled through the crowd. Suddenly, a voice called out from the back, an older neighbor Emily had always respected. "Life is full of surprises, Emily. Everyone deserves love and support. We've all stumbled at some point. It's about how we get back up that defines us." The murmuring shifted from judgment to curiosity. People began sharing their own stories, the teen mother who overcame criticisms, the single father who sacrificed everything for his son. It was a flicker of unity beneath the palpable tension in the air. Emily felt a strange mix of fear and exhilaration. She had stepped into the light, exposing not only her struggles, but also the love and strength of her community. Could they truly see her, beyond the consequences or the label of unplanned pregnancy? "Let us celebrate diversity," Tom called out, stepping closer to Emily, his voice brimming with raw honesty. "It's what makes Maplewood beautiful. Let us lift each other up." With those words, the clouds that had settled in Emily's heart began to part. She found herself smiling through the tears that threatened to spill over. "Yes," she exclaimed, the words bursting forth like a dam breaking. "Let us embrace what lies ahead together. We can create something beautiful out of this." Applause erupted amongst the crowd, both supportive and unexpected. People began to join in, clapping and cheering. Their belief in each other flickered to life, igniting a warmth that began to envelop the chilly air of judgment. But just as the mood began to lift, a voice pierced through the excitement. "What about her future?" A town council member stood, arms crossed defiantly, the skepticism palpable. "Will she abandon her dreams?" Emily felt the sudden weight of reality crash down once again. The shadows returned, pushing against the light she had momentarily found. Would she really sacrifice her dreams for this new life? As doubts crept back into her mind, she turned to Tom, who stood resolutely beside her, grounding her once more. "I want to show them my journey, and maybe even reinvent it." But as the echo of that resolve hovered in the air, a deeper question stirred inside her. Was she truly ready to redefine her dreams? The festival lights flickered above them, illuminating endless possibilities. The true challenge loomed on the horizon, facing her own fears and navigating the path ahead. What would she decide? And could she really transform this overwhelming moment into something powerful and beautiful? The haunting answer awaited just around the corner. Emily stood frozen, heart hammering, as that challenging question hung in the air. She glanced around at the crowd. Some faces expressed concern, others uncertainty, and a few held outright disbelief. The warmth that had blossomed moments before felt fragile, like a bubble ready to burst. Emily, Tom said softly, sensing her hesitation. What matters is not what they think, but what you believe. Focus on the future you want. He searched her eyes, wanting to ignite a spark of determination within her. Taking a steady breath, Emily nodded, trying to put the voices of doubt behind her. You're right, she said. This is my life. I can redefine what it means to be a mother, to be me. She lifted her chin, feeling the weight of that courage pushing her forward. I will not be defined by one moment or one choice. I can be a nurse, a sister, a friend, and a mother. With a renewed sense of purpose, she turned back to the crowd, her voice stronger now. I want to show our community that it's okay to embrace the unexpected. Life is messy, but it's also beautiful. I want to build a future where my child knows love, support, and strength, not just from me, but from all of you. The murmurs rose and fell like waves, and a few more townsfolk stepped forward. A middle-aged woman with kind eyes stood tall, clutching her daughter's hand. I had my first child while working 2 jobs, and yes, it was tough, she admitted, glancing at Emily. But the love I felt was worth every struggle. You can do this. Another voice chimed in, a tall man with a broad frame, who had always been a friendly face at community events. I was a single dad with nowhere to turn. It takes a village, but together we can create new beginnings. The warmth in his eyes mirrored the flickering hope spreading through the crowd. With each voice, Emily felt the tension melt away. She became engulfed in a wave of support, reminding her of why she cherished her hometown despite its flaws. There were stories in every corner: the single mother who started a business, the father who worked 3 jobs to send his kids to college. She could feel those stories lifting her up. Let us not create divisions, Tom added, stepping beside her, his hand once more on her shoulder. Let us turn our struggles into strength. Each of us has dreams. Instead of dismissing them, let us lift each other up. There is room for all our stories in this town. Cheers erupted again, the community unifying over shared experiences rather than dividing over differences. Emily felt her heart swell, but deep down, the flickering shadow of doubt still remained. What if she couldn't balance her career and motherhood? What if she wasn't enough? Tears brimming in her eyes, she knew she had to reveal this part of herself too. I want to ask for help. The words felt like a leap into the unknown. I don't have all the answers, but I want to learn from all of you. There was a moment of silence, a collective breath held before the applause thundered again through the air. It echoed with new understanding, a promise of community. But just as hope settled in, a figure emerged from the back, her Aunt Marjorie, worry etched on her face. Emily, it won't be easy. You need support, sure, but what about your dreams as a nurse? What if it all falls apart? Emily's stomach nodded. Could she really weave her aspirations into this new reality, or would she watch them fade away? The question lingered heavily in her heart as she cast glances at her family and friends, all watching, all believing in her. Determined, Emily took a step forward, ready to reclaim her dreams. We won't know until we try. Let us find the strength in each other and move forward. As the crowd erupted in applause once more, an unexpected tension filled the air, whispering that the journey wasn't over, that challenges awaited beyond this moment. Could she really thread together the life she wanted? The answer waited, looming like a shadow, as possibilities unfolded before her. Emily felt her heart race as she took a deep breath, the air thick with anticipation. Marjorie's words lingered, heavy with doubt, but the warmth of the crowd began to wrap around her like a familiar blanket. She wasn't just fighting for her dreams anymore. She was fighting for a future filled with love and support, not just for her child but for all of them. Maybe, she said, her voice breaking slightly under the weight of her emotions, maybe my dreams can grow alongside this new journey. She looked squarely at Marjorie, determination etched on her face. I can be both a nurse and a mother. There's got to be a way. Suddenly, a soft voice broke through, filled with an unexpected tone of excitement. You know what, Emily? I think this is your chance. It was Sarah, the shy girl from school who had always been so timid. I mean, we all knew you had big dreams. This is just a new part of that. Emily's eyes widened, surprise mingling with gratitude. You really think so? Sarah nodded eagerly. You could inspire so many people, not just in nursing, but in what it means to face life as challenges. People need to see that it's okay to live large, even when life throws you a curveball. The crowd exploded into murmurs of agreement, and Emily could feel herself be lifted. The weight slowly began melting away like snow under the warmth of the sun. She looked around. People were nodding, smiles warming their faces. Tom stepped forward, his eyes gleaming with excitement. A family is built on shared trials. This community has faced challenges before and risen together. We can face this with you. As if on cue, laughter erupted from the back where a mother struggled to manage her toddler. She raised her hand, a playful smirk on her face. Trust me, Emily, chaos is part of the beauty. I wouldn't trade my messy life for anything. That laughter echoed, light and carefree, and soon others joined. The atmosphere was transforming, shifting into something that felt bold and alive. Emily bit her lip, overwhelmed by the swift change in energy. I know it'll be tough. I know it isn't going to be a straight path. But if we can do this together, her voice grew louder, imbued with hope. Then I believe we can also show how strong we all can be. The crowd erupted into cheers again, and she felt her spirit soar higher. Yet, as joy settled in her heart, a small whisper of fear nagged at the back of her mind. Would she truly be able to manage it all? Between the endless hours of nursing, the sleepless nights that lay ahead as a mother, and carrying the weight of expectation, could she really keep her dreams alive? Just as this thought tightened her chest, a small wave of applause broke through her inner turmoil. It was Marjorie, stepping forward now, with a softer expression. Emily, it takes courage to ask for help. Remember, we're here to lift you when you feel weak. A sense of calm washed over her. With each supportive cheer, the doubts drifted further from her mind. And yet, had she acknowledged every complexity of her situation? She breathed deeply, letting the potential of this moment pulse in her veins, her heart racing with both excitement and apprehension. What other surprises lay in store? As she stood there surrounded by support, Emily couldn't help but wonder how far they would all rise together. Would her dreams evolve, transform into something bigger than she ever imagined? The crowd began to disperse, laughter echoing in the air, but Emily stayed rooted in place, soaking it all in. A new chapter was beginning, but she couldn't shake the feeling that life was about to test them all in ways they had never considered. How would Emily reconcile the growing demands of family with her ambitions, and what unexpected lessons awaited her on this unpredictable journey? Emily stood amidst the fading echoes of laughter, the vibrant energy surrounding her like a warm embrace. Yet, her heart tugged in conflicting directions. The cheers felt like a promise, while the questions swirling in her mind felt insurmountable. How could she balance her dreams with this new responsibility? Would her life turn chaotic, a whirlwind of sleepless nights and hectic days, or would her ambitions rise to meet this challenge? As the last of the crowd began to retreat, Emily noticed Sarah lingering nearby. "Are you okay?" she asked, concern etching her young face. "I don't know," Emily admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "I feel like I have this huge weight on my shoulders. I want to do it all, but what if I can't?" "Don't think like that." Sarah stepped closer, her eyes filled with a quiet determination. "You're not alone. You just showed so much courage up there. You have this community behind you. They believe in you." Emily felt a warm spread in her chest. "You inspire us," Sarah continued, her voice gaining strength. And it's okay to be scared. Everyone is. But that fear? It can be a sign of something great waiting to happen. Emily's heart swelled at Sarah's words. Could fear really be a stepping stone to something beautiful? The prospect of merging her life as a nurse with her new role as a mother felt daunting, yet deep down, she sensed a flicker of excitement. "Thanks, Sarah," Emily replied, her voice steadied. "I suppose maybe if I find a way to work together with everyone, it will be easier. I can't just stand still. I have to move forward." But as she pondered the journey ahead, another thought nagged at her. How would she navigate the world of nursing? Long shifts meant long hours away from home. Would she jeopardize her relationship with her child? The outdoor air was cool, carrying the lingering sense of autumn as the sun began to dip low on the horizon, casting a golden hue. Emily drew in a deep breath. She pictured herself wearing scrubs again, caring for patients, feeling accomplished, yet that image was layered with a new vision, a small child waiting for her at home. Would she be enough? Her phone buzzed in her pocket, pulling her from her thoughts. A message from her mother lit the screen. "Just checking in. Don't forget to take care of yourself, too." Emily smiled, feeling a swell of encouragement. In that moment, she realized she wasn't just fighting for her dreams. She was also fighting for those dreams to be a part of her child's life. She could show them that dreams were worth chasing, no matter how messy or unpredictable life became. As she walked towards her home, determination filled her. "I can adapt. I can evolve." She clenched her fists in reassurance. What new lessons would her child teach her along the way? And what hidden strengths might she discover that would empower her to face each day, no matter the challenges? Just then, a distant cry of a child echoed through the street, bouncing off the houses. Emily paused, feeling her instincts kick in. Would she find a way to combine her personal aspirations with nurturing the next generation? As feelings of hope washed over her, thoughts of challenges swirled behind it. She knew there would be hurdles. Life loved throwing curveballs. But what if those very obstacles were keys to uncovering something magnificent? And with that, Emily's heart raced anew, picturing the road of possibilities stretching before her. Would she truly be able to forge a path that embraced both nursing and motherhood? What awaited her in the journey she was now ready to embrace? As Emily stepped through her front door, the familiar smell of home wrapped around her like a hug. She paused a moment, letting the warmth seep into her bones. The clock on the wall ticked softly, reminding her that every second counted. She could push against the doubt or breathe in the possibility. The choice felt heavy, yet strangely liberating. Her phone buzzed again, breaking her reverie. A message from one of her nursing school friends popped up. "Hey, I heard you rocked it today. Ready to show them what you're made of? We need you in this community." A smile crept up her face. Those words lit a spark inside her, reminding her of the countless late-night study sessions, the laughter, the tears. "I'm not alone," she whispered, as if to reassure both herself and the empty room. Still, the weight of her thoughts nudged at her. How would she say goodbye to her carefree days and embrace the responsibilities of motherhood and nursing? The nagging fear returned, flashing images of chaotic mornings and missed opportunities. Each one felt like a stone dropped into a pond, sending ripples of anxiety through her mind. "Mommy!" A small voice broke through her mental struggles. The sound of tiny footsteps rang through the hall, and soon, her toddler daughter, Lily, came barreling into the living room, her blonde curls bouncing with each stride. Lily threw her arms around Emily's legs. The simple act sent a wave of warmth through Emily, flooding out the tension. "I missed you," Lily chirped, looking up with wide, innocent eyes. "I missed you too, Pumpkin," Emily replied, bending down to scoop her up in a hug. She inhaled the sweet scent of baby shampoo mixed with the smell of peanut butter, grounding herself in the moment. As Emily held her daughter tight, that little flame of determination rekindled. "I can do this." They spent the evening coloring together and reading stories. Each giggle felt like a reminder that every joyous moment was worth the struggle. Yet, once Lily was safely tucked in bed, sleep eluded Emily. She sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the ceiling, contemplating nursing school and motherhood, while tucking her hair behind her ear. The two worlds felt so far apart sometimes. She picked up her phone and opened a message from Sarah that made her heart flutter. "No need to rush. Take it one step at a time. They will love you for being you." The next day loomed like a gathering storm. A meeting with her nursing mentor awaited a chance to discuss her options moving forward. But would she have the courage to speak her heart? To map out a future that felt almost impossible? Taking a deep breath, Emily opened her laptop and began to look up options for flexible work hours, the kind that might allow her to juggle both nursing and being the mother she wanted to be. Doubts still flickered around the edges of her mind like fireflies before a summer storm. But this time, she summoned that courage Sarah had spoken of, wild and untamed. As the glowing screen filled with possibilities, the question loomed larger than life. How would she forge a path through the uncertainty? Could determination and creativity pave the way for a future that blended both dreams? Suddenly, an unexpected thought bubbled up. What would it mean for Lily to see her mother fight for her dreams? Emily felt a wave of optimism rush over her. If I can show her that it's possible, that nothing stands in the way of love and aspirations, maybe, just maybe, I'll be doing it right. Before she could second-guess herself, the incident brief from yesterday surged in her mind, a sudden, forgotten child-esque cry echoing back. There was something deeper there, something she needed to understand. What if her journey held secrets about life, love, and motherhood she hadn't yet grasped? As hope simmered within her, Emily was ready to chase down those dreams, heart racing with the thrill of discovery. Would she uncover the truth about balancing passion and nurturing love, or face unforeseen challenges that could shake her belief? The moment of realization was just around the corner. All she needed to do was step into the next chapter. The morning sun peeked through the curtains, casting warm golden rays across Emily's bedroom floor. She could hear the quiet hum of traffic outside, a reminder that life continued on, bustling forward just like her own journey. Today was the day. A wave of both dread and excitement pushed through her. After a quick breakfast with Lily, who insisted on oatmeal with extra honey, and a side of giggles, Emily kissed her daughter goodbye, watching as she scampered off to the living room, her small figure consumed with the wonder of her toys. As she stepped outside, the brisk air filled her lungs, awakening every part of her. The drive to her mentor's office felt surreal. Every stoplight flicked an internal switch from hesitation to affirmation. She pictured her future, the lives she could touch. "I can do this," she whispered to herself, knowing that just a few short months ago, that same statement would have left her paralyzed with fear. When she arrived, she took a moment before heading in, steadying her nerves, wrapping her fingers around the comforting fabric of her lucky scarf one Sarah had gifted her. It was a tiny reminder of the bond she had with her fellow nurses, representing not just friendship, but resilience. The sound of her heels clicking against the polished floors echoed through the corridor as she approached her mentor's office. Dr. Thompson sat behind her desk, her demeanor warm and inviting. "Emily, I'm so glad you're here," she greeted, waving a hand that beckoned Emily inside. The conversation flowed easily at first. They shared stories. Emily expressed her hopes, her fears, everything that stirred within her. Yet, beneath her words, a shiver of vulnerability hung in the air, revealing worries that she still struggled to articulate. "Emily," Dr. Thompson said gently, "you have a fire in you. Trust that. But also remember, it's okay to feel torn. Balancing a career and motherhood is no small feat." Those words settled over Emily like a warm blanket. It was comforting to know she was the only one wrestling with these questions. But just as that sense of ease washed over her, a lingering thought crackled in her mind. Was being pulled in two directions truly a weakness, or could it be her greatest strength? As they began discussing options that would allow for a flexible nursing schedule, Emily felt a tingle of something deeper empowerment. The door swung wide open to possibilities she hadn't dared to dream about. After an hour of sharing ideas and addressing concerns, Emily stood, feeling almost buoyant. "Thank you, Dr. Thompson. I leave here feeling like maybe, just maybe, I can write my own story." When she got back to her car, she felt a rush of excitement. But then, a small voice clanged back in her head, the child's cry replaying a haunting echo of yesterday. Why had that been lurking just beneath the surface? Her heart pounded. Instead of driving home, she found herself heading to the park where Lily played. The urgency shifted. Memories of her childhood unspooled in her mind, filled with her mother, laughter, and tiny adventures. As she parked, a sense of clarity washed over her. What if her mother's experience mirrored her own? What if she could guide Lily towards confidence, teaching her that feeling torn could actually serve as a beacon of hope? Before she knew it, she was surrounded by the joy of children at play, a whirlwind of giggles and chatter. She found Lily at the sandbox, crafting castles with absolute concentration. Emily waved her over, excitement bubbling inside her. "Pumpkin!" she called out, her heart brimming. "Let us build a castle together." But as her daughter rushed toward her, a nagging intuition still danced at the back of her mind. Could understanding her mother's journey unveil something extraordinary? Something that could change everything for Emily and Lily? Could that very moment lead to uncovering deeper truths about motherhood, dreams cast aside, and family ties that bind? As they knelt in the sand, buckets of creativity swirling between them, Emily knew the answer was closer than it seemed. The sun hung high, casting soft shadows as Emily and Lily poured their energy into the castle of sand. Each handful shaped a tide palace. Each giggle from Lily seemed like music. The world around them melted into an oasis of laughter and play. Emily's heart felt light as she watched her daughter imagine kingdoms and endless adventures. "Make it bigger, Mommy," Lily exclaimed, her tiny hands stacking sand higher, her bright eyes shining with delight. Emily laughed, her worries temporarily set aside. "Bigger it is. But this castle needs a moat, right?" She grabbed a small plastic shovel, the bright color gleaming under the sun, and began to scoop nearby water from the puddles left by last night's rain. Just as she dug deeper into the earth, a sudden wave of memories crashed over her. They were vivid of her own mother, sitting at this very park, building the same castles, holding the same dreams. An ache settled in her chest. Her mother's voice, full of warmth, echoed in her mind. "Emily, remember that every challenge can build something beautiful." That thought clung to her like the sand on her hands. Here she was, trying to create something grand for Lily, while torn between her own dreams and the responsibilities of motherhood. Was she doing enough? Did she really know how to make her daughter believe in herself? "Mommy, look!" Lily's voice broke through her reverie. She had added a flag to their castle, a small piece of colored paper stuck to a stick, waving in the breeze like a champion's banner. "It's perfect, just like you." Emily beamed, her heart swelling with pride. How did her little girl manage to encapsulate so much joy in such a small gesture? In that moment, Emily realized something fundamental. Lily's happiness blossomed from the very courage she saw in Emily's own little victories. But then, the weight of uncertainty crashed in again. What if she failed to guide Lily on this journey? Would her child carry the same burden she had, feeling torn and unsure of her path? How could Emily transform her own story into a legacy of strength rather than doubt? Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind as she looked at Lily. What if she shared her journey with her daughter? Not just the glittering successes, but the struggles too. "Lily, do you want to hear a story?" she asked, her voice warm and soft. "Yeah, the big one." Lily clapped her hands in excitement, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. Emily took a deep breath, brimming with courage. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who loved to build sandcastles. She wove words through the air, transforming her childhood memories into vibrant tales of wonder and resilience, reminding Lily that it's okay to feel lost sometimes, that even strong women face uncertain paths. Lily listened intently, captivated not just by the story of a castle, but by the feeling of connection to her mother. As Emily shared, she noticed something shift. Lily's brows furrowed in concentration, her small face serious, absorbing each word. "But Mommy, are you scared too?" she asked with the innocence only a child could possess. The question struck Emily like lightning. How had she known? "Sometimes I am," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I promise that it makes me brave to face my fears. Just like we're building this castle together. That's really cool." Lily laughed, her earlier concerns magically vanishing. The exchange lit something inside Emily, a spark of hope that transcended generations. As they wrapped up their castle, topped with a handmade flag fluttering against the sky, Emily felt lighter, freer. Maybe the journey wasn't just about her own struggles, but about sharing the truth of those struggles with Lily. Together, they could unearth strength and resilience not just in play, but in life. "Ready to take a picture?" Emily asked, pulling out her phone and angling it down toward the majestic castle. "Wait! I want to make a wish first," Lily said, closing her eyes tightly and whispering something into the summer breeze. Emily raised her phone, capturing the moment their smiles painted against the backdrop of the shimmering sandcastle. As they sat side by side, taking in the scene, Emily couldn't help but wonder, would this moment be the turning point? Would sharing their stories help them navigate the uncertain waters ahead? But what if, she mused, as a twinge of anxiety folded into her thoughts. Shaking her head to clear it, Emily whispered softly, "One step at a time." Just then, the park started filling with more families, laughter echoed, and a warmth enveloped her once more. But deep down, she knew a new wave of uncertainty was brewing, one that would test the bonds they were building. What was waiting around the corner, and would they be ready to face it together? The laughter around the park intensified as families settled in for picnics and games, the vibrant atmosphere reminding Emily of the softness woven through moments like these. She watched Lily, who was now engrossed in the intricate patterns of the sandcastle, her little fingers tracing the edges with delight. "Mommy, look how tall the castle is." "It's super tall," Lily squealed, throwing her arms open wide as if to embrace the entire world. Emily couldn't help but chuckle at her daughter's imaginative spirit. "It is. But let us add some sea creatures too. What do you think?" "Yeah. A mermaid and a shark." Lily's eyes glinted like the ocean, sparkling with fantasy. As they began shaping little figures from the damp sand, contemplations of her own childhood tugged at Emily with a bittersweet intensity. How she longed to share her triumphs and fears, those lessons learned through quiet strength. It was different now. She had the opportunity to shape Lily's understanding of life, armed with love and vulnerability. "Did you ever wish for something special when you were little, Mommy?" Lily looked up, curiosity etched on her face. Emily paused, searching for truth in a sea of memories. "Oh, many wishes, sweetheart. I often wished to be brave. Brave like the knights in stories, strong enough to face big challenges." Lily's brow furrowed as she processed. "But what if I'm not brave?" "Oh, honey," Emily knelt beside her, placing a hand gently on her arm. "Bravery isn't just about being fearless. Sometimes, it's about doing what scares you anyway. It's like building our castle here. The first scoop is always the hardest, right? But I love playing," Lily replied, her smile forming a bridge between their worlds. Exactly. And if you ever feel scared, you can always share that with me. It makes it easier. Promise? Lily asked, her blue eyes widening with sincerity. Promise, Emily reassured her, feeling a flood of warmth rush through her heart. In that exchange lay a lesson that transcended their sandcastle world, a foundation for trust and openness. It was then that Emily spotted movement at the edge of the park. A familiar face, a friend from the past. Johanna, her old college roommate, was strolling over with her own daughter. The sight stirred something inside of Emily, memories rising like the tide, both refreshing and daunting. Johanna was among her closest friends, but things between them had grown distant over years marked by choices and challenges. "Emily, is that you?" Johanna called, her voice warm yet cautious, as if testing the waters. "Johanna. Wow, it's been 3 years?" Emily forced a smile that didn't quite match her internal hesitations. They embraced, but Emily felt a tightness in her chest. Would Johanna judge her? Her eye caught Johanna's daughter, a sweet girl about the same age as Lily. Memories of late-night talks about motherhood, about dreams, and the struggles of chasing them suddenly surged back. Lily, sensing the shift, jumped into action. "Hi, I'm Lily. We're making a sandcastle." "Hello, Lily." "That's an amazing castle," Johanna's daughter chimed in, her eyes lighting up at the sight of their creation. Emily heard their laughter mix with the background noise of park life, yet a tension rooted itself within her, an invisible thread linking the past to the present. Was she still the same person Johanna once knew? Would she see her battle scars or the triumphs? As the two mothers exchanged stories, Emily felt the burdens of old insecurities stirring to life. Each word felt like an unearthing of her reality, gradually revealing layers of her journey, the failed aspirations, the moments of joy, and the pivot towards motherhood. The conversation flowed, but a shadow of doubt started creeping in, spiraling into thoughts about whether she was truly doing it right. Could she, amidst the laughter and sand, reveal the hidden struggles? And then it came, a question hanging in the air, a gentle poke of curiosity from Johanna. "How are you really doing, Emily?" Emily hesitated, heart racing. Should she share the truth? Should she expose the vulnerabilities she had tucked away, even from herself? As she opened her mouth to respond, chaos erupted nearby. A sudden shout. A child fell. Laughter turned to gasps. "Mommy!" Lily's voice cut through the tension, her face reflecting confusion. Emily's heart dropped, time stood still. In that moment, she realized the urgency of openness, of sharing not just the wins, but also the fears that wove them together in this journey of life. What would she say? Could this moment shift everything yet again? As she turned to Lily, courage blinking at the edges of her heart, she took a deep breath. "What do we do when things feel scary, Lily? Tell me about it." Lily squeaked, her little voice trembling, eyes wide with fear and concern for her friend. "Exactly. We share our feelings," Emily said softly, kneeling beside her daughter. "Just like I told you about bravery, we have to be brave ourselves. We need to see if our friend is okay." Emily stood and walked quickly towards the source of the commotion, heart pounding as she approached the small cluster of parents gathering around a sobbing child. It was a surreal moment where time seemed to suspend itself. Her mind raced, thoughts swirling. What if this child needed help, real help? Could someone else in their tight-knit community also be struggling? The girl cried out for her mother as Emily reached her, feeling the warmth of empathy wash over her. "Hey, sweetie," Emily said gently, crouching down to her level. "What happened?" The girl sniffled, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I fell. My knee hurts." Emily focused on the child's need, instinctual training kicking in. "Okay, let us see together." As she examined the scraped knee, Emily noticed Johanna had followed closely, watching silently like a guardian. "Here, let us clean it up," Emily said, pulling out a disinfectant from her first aid kit she always carried on outings. The child watched wide-eyed, her worry fading into wonder. As Emily gently tended to the scrape, she felt the tension ease, both in her heart and from the child before her. "See? You're brave. Just like that, you faced the fear," Emily smiled. "You'll be all right, and soon you'll be back to playing." When she finished, the girl's mom approached, offering her thanks with tears of relief. Emily felt an electric pulse of fulfillment surge through her, igniting something within her core. It reminded her of who she was, of what it meant to confront fears and insecurities of the power siblings and friends could have to uplift one another. As the little girl began to giggle at her friend's antics again, Emily turned to find Johanna watching from a distance with admiration. "You didn't have to do that," Johanna observed, stepping closer. "You could easily said you were too busy with your own." Emily swallowed, blinking back worry. "It's not just me anymore, Johanna. I can't be afraid of who I am. I want to share more than my successes. I want to show that we all can face challenges and grow from them." A moment of stillness lingered, and Emily's heart fluttered. The old fears, the judgments from her past, faded like an echo. She could remind others of their strength and the power of vulnerability. In this moment, she saw that every obstacle, each moment of uncertainty, could be a bridge to unity, to understanding, to love. "I think you have something real here," Johanna said softly, her voice growing warmer. "Maybe we could help each other more? Parents, friends, it takes a village, right?" "Yes," Emily replied with a sudden brightness to her spirit. "Let us create a way to inspire each other. Open conversations about our dreams, our struggles, everything." A flicker of excitement ignited the air, connections rippling through play, laughter, and hearts seeking vibrancy. This felt different. This felt like transformation. As they chatted about future community gatherings, Emily glanced at Lily, blissfully engaged with her friends again. "Mommy!" Lily exclaimed, running over with branches she collected to fortify their castle. "Look! It has a drawbridge now." Emily laughed, her heart swelling with pride for her daughter, strong and free, finding joy. "It's marvelous. And guess what? We'll continue building our castle together, strong enough to hold each challenge." They shared a hug that promised that together, they would weather any storm. Emily's heart swelled with gratitude for her friends, her community, and for the journey she embraced, anew a pathway that connected motherhood and dreams, like two sides of the same coin. As they left the park, laughter trailing behind them like sunlight, Emily looked forward to the lessons yet to come. What awaited her tomorrow? She knew that wherever life led, vulnerability would be her guiding star, and love would always light their way. With each shared laugh, each act of courage, Emily understood that she was stepping into a limitless realm of possibility. The journey was just beginning, and she was finally ready. Embrace your journey. Sharpen those dreams. Subscribe now to keep moving forward, to join Emily and many in this journey of transformation. Like this and feed the algorithm that helps so many to find their paths. Comment with your hopes and new beginnings in your lives, and share this moment with at least 5 friends who could use the spark of hope. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share.